I had a feeling before I opened it that the letter was bad news. Any letter from Sam Goring was. Unfortunately for me, Sam was a friend of mine. A couple of weeks before, I'd been best man at his wedding, and in a moment of misguided generosity, I'd loaned him my boat for a honeymoon cruise. Running true to his blundering form, Sam had sailed down the Mexican coast and promptly ran the boat aground off La Paz, the fishing village on the southern tip of Baja California. In his letter, he suggested I might want to be on hand to supervise repairs. Knowing Sam as I did, supervising the boat repairs seemed like a good idea. I took off for Tijuana to catch a plane. I caught Flight 17, a night flight for La Paz, unaware that for the next 12 hours, Sam Goring and my grounded boat would be among the least of my worries. In addition to the pilot and co-pilot, there were 5 passengers. Dr. Mateo Sebastian, with whom I talked briefly at the Tijuana airport. I'd remembered hearing about the doctor. For his work among the Indians in remote areas of Baja California, he had the reputation of being a sort of Mexican Dr. Schweitzer. Welby Finch, a young salesman who'd bent my ear for the first hour out of Tijuana, telling me how he spent his vacation skin diving off coastal waters, investigating reports and legends of sunken treasure among the rotted carcasses of old Spanish galleons at the bottom of the sea. Kate Ryan, whose name was all I knew about her. And finally, a man about whom I knew even less. We were an hour and a half from La Paz when I had my first inkling that something was wrong. The plane broke through a bank of low clouds, flying barely 100 feet above the rugged mountaintop. We were in trouble, real trouble. The plane was losing altitude fast. And then, one of the plane's engines sputtered and died, and seconds later, it happened. Doctor!
I'm all right. There's a flashlight on my back.
Finch, all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
I guess. Check the pilots. I'll take care of the rest of it. Okay.
Help me. Help me.
He's alive.
All right, you two get outside. Finch and I'll bring him. Finch! What about the pilots? They're dead. Let's get out of here. This thing's going to explode any minute. Help me with him.
Wait, my case.
Come on.
Let me go!
Come back here. You fool, come here. Oh, I'm getting out of here.
Keep your hands off it.
This wrapper is stamped with the name of the San Diego Trust Company.
What does that mean?
It was held up about a month ago by 3 men. They got away with almost $200,000. 2 of them were killed in the getaway, but 1 of them escaped with the money.
You, pick it up, put it in the case, and give it to me.
You better do what he says, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor.
Do not thank me. I was acting in my own interest as well as yours. I had the feeling he would not hesitate to kill us all.
Barlow, huh? Frank Barlow. Get him up. Take his belt off and tie his hands. You any idea where we are, Doctor?
No. Except that this is desolate country. The nearest village could be 50, 75 miles away.
Well, if we're on course, our best chance of being found is to stay close, at least until daylight. They may start looking for us tonight. We better start a campfire. Looks like a good place up there. All right, take them up there. We'll get some firewood. And you take care of this. Want to help me, Doctor?
Of course.
Who is that big guy?
His name's Adams. Dan Adams. He's a private detective from Coronado.
So that's why he's such an eager beaver. He can smell the reward he'll get for me. And the dough.
What are you doing?
Just looking.
I heard the co-pilot call you Mrs. Ryan. What's your first name?
Kate.
That makes a pretty picture, doesn't it, Kate?
Close it up.
She's only looking.
Close it!
What are you so jumpy about?
Guys get that way when they see something they want and can't have.
Are you shut up?
Don't feel guilty about it. We all like money. Don't we, Kate?
Want to smoke?
Yeah?
Well, this'll do us for now.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Boy, that must have been something. Robbing a place for that much money.
That was a big one. Kind that comes along once in a lifetime. The way it worked, both my partners being bumped, I had it all. And a lousy mountain got in the way. Where were you headed when we ran out of Sky?
La Paz.
What's in La Paz for you?
My husband. Only he isn't exactly in La Paz. That'd be bad enough. He's a mining engineer, silver. And he lives in a place called San Lazaro.
Where's that?
40 miles past the last coyote. Up in the mountains. It's got a population of 104, counting the goats.
Sounds peaceful.
So does it, too.
And why are you going back there?
Because there isn't any place else to go.
Oh, that's where you're wrong, Kate. The world's full of places to go to, isn't it, Finch?
I wouldn't know.
Why not? I heard you talking to Adams on the plane, telling him how you spend your vacations diving for sunken treasure. Bet you've been to a lot of places.
A few.
You ever been down in the Caribbean? Well, come. I hear that's a spot for guys like you. Sunken treasure all over the place. Man could spend years down there just doing nothing but hunting for them old Spanish ships that sunk. Now, if he had a little stake to fall back on, let's say $65,000.
Why 65,000?
Divide 195,000 by 3. That's your answer.
I'll get the fire started.
I'm going down to the plane, or what's left of it. Some rations may have been thrown clear.
Wait. I'll go with you.
Finch. I'll take the gun.
Oh.
It wouldn't interest you, Doc. It's only money.
Why do you say that?
Because I know how guys like you think.
And how is that, senor?
You're a do-gooder, Doc. You think, how does it go? Money is the root of all evil.
Like most people, you misquote. It is the love of money that is the root of all evil.
That's drawing a pretty thin line, isn't it, Doc?
Perhaps. But an important one.
I wanted to talk to you alone.
Well, what about?
Don't be coy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Frank Barlow's proposition, that's what.
I don't know anything about a proposition.
Oh, stop it. He did everything but spell it out word by word, and you know it. A three-way split of the money if we help him. $65,000 apiece.
Forget it.
I'm not going to forget it. You heard what I told Barlow about going back to my husband, that I had to go, because there wasn't anywhere else to go. This is the second time I've gone crawling back, but no more. This is my chance, and I'm going to take it.
You won't get away with it.
Think not?
What about Adams and the doctor? Adams has Barlow's gun. How do you get it away from him?
With this.
Where'd you get that?
My husband gave it to me for protection. What's the matter with you? Maybe you don't want $65,000. Maybe you don't need it. Maybe you're the guy who has everything. You're the guy who's been hunting a lost treasure. Well, you found some. It's yours for the taking.
You mean for the killing, don't you?
All right. Is that such a big deal after what's happened? One minute the pilots were alive, and the next they were dead. Why them and not us? We've got no more right to be alive than they did. None of us, including Adams and the doctor. This is our chance. We'd be fools not to take it. We can make it look as if Adams and the doctor died in the crash. Just the way any one of us could have.
Well, what do you need me for? You got the gun. You'll have Barlow after you free him.
Maybe. Maybe after I've helped him, he'd back out of the deal. But with the two of us, he'd never get away with it. Don't think of Adams or the doctor. Think of the $65,000 and all the things it could do for you.
Well, we won't be able to do anything till morning.
All right. We'll wait until then. It'll be light in a few hours. Take the gun now. Take it.
Don't move, Adams. You either, Doc. Stand up.
Good girl, Kate. Untie me. Okay, Doc, over there with Adams.
You're making a big mistake.
Sure.
Talk to them.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, but do they know what you're doing? You think you do. You only got his word for it.
That's enough out of you, Adams.
Now that he's free and he's got his gun back, how do you know he wouldn't double-cross you? After you help him get rid of the doctor and me, what's to stop him from getting rid of you?
I told you to shut up.
No. You have to make it look like they were killed in the crash.
He's right.
Doesn't make any difference to you, does it, Barlow? You can't wait for the rescue party anyway. Be too many questions, too much publicity. You might get your picture in the paper in San Diego. You might be identified as one of the men that held up the trust company.
I'm telling you, knock it off.
You're fools. He's playing you for suckers. You're taking all the chances because he has nothing to lose.
Don't listen to him. I'll play it any way you want.
You believe that, Finch?
I don't know.
Now you're getting smart.
Shut up! Maybe you better take charge of that gun. Drop it.
Let her go.
Drop that gun, Adams, or I'll kill you.
Or I'll kill you, or we'll kill each other. Either way, I have nothing to lose.
He will give you no more trouble, senor. You are surprised at this turn of events?
Around the edges.
Who are you?
Ask Senor Adams. You do not remember me?
No.
Picture me without the glasses and with a beard. You have a very poor memory for a man in your profession, senor. Have you forgotten the village of Oro Grande in Yucatan in 1953? Yeah, you do remember me now, huh?
I remember.
You were looking for a man named Juan Camargo.
You...
Hold it, Adams! So you're not a sawbones, huh?
Oh, yes, I'm a doctor, senor.
But just technically speaking, eh, Doctor?
True, but it has been a great help in my more lucrative profession.
And just what is that profession?
Narcotic smuggling.
Narcotics. How about that?
That does not amuse you, senor?
Killers never amuse me.
I would watch my tongue if I were you.
Why? You tried to kill me in Oro Grande. Don't tell me that if I'm polite to you now, you'll let me live.
Who knows, I might. I've changed a great deal since Oro Grande, senor.
No, you haven't. You're still the rotten scum you always were.
It would seem that you are in a great hurry to die, senor.
Wait. Just what do you expect to get out of this?
You probably settle for the pleasure of killing me.
It will be a great pleasure when the time comes, but I expect a more practical reward. A share of the money, senora. That's what I expect to get out of this.
What kind of share?
How are the three of you going to divide the money?
3 ways even.
Fair enough. 1/3 for Senor Barlow, 1/3 for me, 1/3 for you and Senor Finch.
Get him.
This is the way it will be.
Oh, no, it won't.
Yes, senora, and I will tell you why. Because Senor Barlow no longer needs you and Senor Finch, but he does need me.
Why?
Senor Adams was right. Senor Barlow cannot wait for a rescue party. There would be too many questions. Is that not true, senor? So, Senor Barlow has to get away from here on foot. But how far could he get alone? The first village he came to, the Federales would stop him. Unless he was accompanied by someone who could vouch for him, say, the beloved Dr. Sebastian of the medical mission at Conejo. Is that not worth 1/3 of the money, senor?
Okay, Doc, you got a deal.
Oh, no, he hasn't.
You are in no position to argue, senora. We have the guns.
You'd better argue, guns or no guns. You think you can trust Barlow. I know you can't trust him.
That is enough out of you.
You wouldn't get 5 miles before he put slugs in your heads and left you for the buzzards.
Be quiet.
All right, let's get out of here.
Wait.
Now what?
We cannot dispose of Senor Adams here.
Why not?
The senor was right. The rescue parties will investigate this area. There are many places along the trail where his body will not be found.
All right, let's move out. You two. Money, Doc.
I was a fool to let you talk me into this.
Here, come.
How far would you get? Where would you go in this wilderness, senora?
You do, and you're dead. Toss it over here. You all right? Let's go.
Hold up a minute.
You're not hurt that badly. Give him a hand, Finch.
$195,000, Adams. Could go two ways.
Yeah, it could, but it's only going one way. Back to the trust company. Get him up.
He's hurt.
He'll live.
You two put on quite an act.
Thank you, senor.
How'd you know the doctor was bluffing?
Oh, when he started talking about that town in Yucatan. I've never been there.
Nor have I. By the way, Senor Adams, how is your jaw?
It's all right. It was worth it to get off that spot I was on.
And you were on a very bad spot indeed when you faced Senor Barlow with a gun. You would have had to shoot the young lady here before you could get him. You had no chance. So I had to do something. But all I could think of to do was to grab your gun and try to get Senor Barlow into a position where I could get his.
Well, you gave one of the most convincing performances I've ever seen.
Gracias, senor. But I cannot take all the credit. I had a most able assistant. And a rather gullible audience. Now let me take a look at that shoulder. Wait. Do you hear?
There.
What a beautiful sight.
The doctor was right. It was a beautiful sight.